when we disrupt the infradian rhythm and ignore it, similar things happen. We get cranky, we get upset, we get tired, we can't think straight, all of these things happen, but we attribute these to just like PMS, to just like we've normalized PMS when PMS is not normal. Having premenstrual dysphoric disorder, it's not normal. Having PMS symptoms, it's not normal. It's very common, but it's not normal. And normalizing that is we end up blaming ourselves and be like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me that I feel like this, rather than attributing it to the fact that we have taken away the importance of the infradian rhythm as part of one of our cycles. And that would be like taking away sleep for humans and then just telling them that there's something wrong with them, they need to take pills if they're upset about it, or if they're feeling cranky, or they're having pain. It's like, oh, yeah, you've got PMS. You're just hormonal. Maybe you should take a pill. Oh, like, and that's kind of what's been happening to people who menstruate is we live in a world that's where you're expected to show up the same way every single day, to be in summer season every single day. And it's just not possible. It's just not sustainable. We have this rhythm within us that is the key to the evolution of our psyche, the evolution of what it is we're here to do on Earth, and what it is that we're here to birth. And all genders have this. All genders, I believe all humans come to Earth with some type of desire in their souls to fulfill during their lifetime. And there's a certain rhythm, a certain pattern that goes to creating that, right? So even if you just think about when you're creating a project, say a podcast, for example, like what you're doing here, right? Mm-hmm. You sit down, you have a hibernation period where you sit with yourself and you think and you vision and you brainstorm, right? You have the visions and you have to sit in stillness and sit with yourself and come to the truth of what is it that I actually desire? What is it that I want to birth? And this is the egg, right? This is within the egg. There's pure nothingness and just death, right? Just pure death, pure nothingness, pure stillness, pure silence. It's cold. It's frigid. Nothing has been created yet. It's all in the ether. It's all in the hypothetical. This is the menstruation phase, right? This is winter phase. And then you're like, ooh, I'm having some visions here. Okay. And once you start to like really decide what that vision is, then you're like, ooh, I'm going to maybe write this down. All of a sudden, it becomes real. It becomes planted seeds, right? So this goes into the springtime, right? This is the spring phase of your creation. So you're like, ooh, I'm going to plant the seeds. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to write down, and you start to write out a plan. You start to plant the seeds into the earth. The first frost or the last frost makes its way, and you move into the spring, and you actually put that thing that was in the quantum field and the ether into form in the real life, something tangible that can be seen, that can be touched, that it is no longer a quantum hypothetical vision. It is now moving into form. And as it slowly moves into form and it progresses, the more it moves from that paper onto us having a conversation in this physical space. Now it's in the summer. Right now, you're doing it. You're on here. You're talking with me. You're creating this thing. You're recording it. You're out there. You're talking with people. We're summertime. You're producing the podcast. You're putting it on the YouTube channel. You're putting it on the Spotify's, on the Apple things all over the place. Right? That's your summer. And then it's over. It dies. The podcast is done. It's out there. You've done the episode. It's out there. It's made. And now that it's out there and it's done, like the truth comes out. What worked? What didn't work? Oh, I felt really good about this part. I didn't feel great about that part. Oh my gosh. Like now it's autumn. The leaves start to change color and we start to like move back inward again. Because now that we've bursted with the summertime, now we're like going back to the, inward. Let me reflect again. What worked, what didn't work. Now I have to grieve. That was so much fun. That was really cool. I really enjoyed it or I didn't like it, but either way I'm grieving and I have to let go because it is dead now. And now I can take that information and go back into my hibernation, back into winter and reform what am I going to do this time? And rehab the vision and plant it again. And that way, that is how we evolve things that we create, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a baby, whether it's a life form, whether whatever it is that people are creating and birthing onto this earth, it all moves through those cycles. It's those 4 seasons. And those 4 seasons are happening in our bodies, and we're expecting to be able to regenerate the planet. We're expecting to be able to like live in tune with the planet and clean up all the plastic, but those are all just symptoms, right? We could just like go around cleaning up plastic all day, but if we are sitting here hating ourselves for not being productive enough during the winter time, during our own inner winter time, and have self-hate and self-sabotage and are doubting ourselves and shaming ourselves out of that very important inner winter phase of our creative process, we are contributing to the exploitation by doing it to ourselves. And so it's not until we can heal that inner connection to ourselves and our bodies and our natural need for that process of that evolution, of the evolution of our psyche, then we are going to continue doing it to the planet, right? As above, so below. So instead of pointing the fingers outward of like, those companies need to get better at regeneration, or those companies need to get like, stop doing this or stop doing that. It's like, well, are we doing it to ourselves? Do we even know our own seasons? And so for people of all genders, I always encourage that they track their natural tendencies. Like, are there times of the month? Are there times like at the full moon? Do you feel like you have more energy, less energy? Like when is your natural cycle happening as far as your creative process goes, right? And what is most natural for you and your body, and not the one that has been forced upon you by an external system or expectation. Can you really sit with your own intuition to read and really understand what is asking to be birthed and the rhythm at which it's being asked to birth. And it is true that people who menstruate, they have a more tangible access to the rhythm of their cycle that they can really see. And I think that it's very supportive for all people who aren't menstruating to be able to witness, to bear witness, to understand, to get curious, and to support those who are menstruating on that cycle and on that path. But I think it's also important for them to understand their own rhythms of their bodies, their needs, their own creative cycle and rhythms and processes. Outside of the show up every day like summer at 6 a.m. and do the workout, go and maximize your output, and like, we're not summer every day. Like, seasonal depression's a fucking scam. We're supposed to need to sleep 12 hours a day in the winter time. Like, that's what our bodies are meant to be doing. Like, we're meant to be sleeping 12 hours a day. We're meant to be eating a lot of food. We're meant to be resting and hibernating. So the reason why we're depressed is because we think there's something wrong with the fact that we need deep rest during the winter time. When if we were bears, we would just not even be socializing. We would just be hibernating and sleeping the whole time. So, yeah.
Wow. So, um, wow,
Yeah, there's a
this
lot
no,
there.
it really is mind blowing. And Lexi will go into this in great detail in terms of how to use each phase, and if you're a woman, how to put that lightning in a bottle and actually use that. She does workshops, and does sessions where you can learn this stuff really in depth. You can find that at thecyclewitch.com, or just follow Lexi at the Cycle Witch. Um,